Welcome back, guys, and today I'll be showing you the best investments right now in the AFC 24 for the FC Live promo. So if you're new around here and you need some more coins over time, you're in the right place. And remember, guys, we're still giving away 9 sets of FIFA points. It'll be done at the end of the month, so make sure to get your entries in now. All you've got to do is sub and send proof over on Instagram and you'll be entered in. And of course, as usual, if you want some coins in a quicker way, well, if you guys are fed up of coming against neeks like me and foot champs who use loans and OP cards from day one,
I'm getting really sick of you! Get out now!
Then you need to head over to MitchCactus.com, where not only can you buy the cheapest and most reliable FIFA coins on the EA market, you'll find over 10,000 reviews from people who have used the services and enjoyed them in the past. So make sure to head over to MitchCactus.com and use code RECALL for 5% off. Now, of course, we're going to be talking about SBCs because right now, they're the thing that's going to make you the most coins. As it stands, we've got some guaranteed SBCs coming up. The Max 89 icon is the big one, and we're going to look at Footbin in a moment for that. And then, of course, we've got the FC Pro Live. What do you do for that as well? And then we've got Black Friday coming up, so you've got 3 events all in a very small space of time, which are all going to change the market. Now, Black Friday, although initially is going to absolutely dump certain card prices, the likes of the Dembélés can go down, but I actually still think that's a solid investment based on Mbappe Player of the Month. So when that comes out, that's going to soar up a little bit. But then you've got the likes of, for example, Messi's, your actual Mbappe cards as well. These bigger cards that are not based on their value for rating, they're based on the value for the card they are and the rarity of the card. They're going to soar down a bit because realistically a ton of packs are getting opened. However, if we take ourselves over to Footbin, as you can see I've done here, we're going to head over to the active SBCs, and right now we can look and reflect on what's to come. So last year in the Icon SBC that came around the same time, you were looking at around 250 to 300k depending on what kind of cards you were using, but it was a rough value of around that. Now they've kept the values of Icon SBCs pretty similar this year to what we were looking at last year, similar to the heroes. They've not done exact, but it's in the same ballpark figure, you know, within 10 or 20,000 coins. Now the requirements aren't the same, but it does mean that they're going to look for requirements to match up with that value. Now last year 250 to 300k means what we're probably going to look at is an 87 rated squad paired with potentially an 85 or an 86. If you see the 86 here, we're looking at, if we go for Xbox prices, we're looking at about 150k and we're at 100k, so that would be a pretty perfect pairing. And then of course you might see, and I think this is very unlikely, an 88 rated squad. I think the only way they're going to do an Icon SBC is with 2 squads, so 87 plus 86, or it'll be 87 plus maybe an 84 and an 85, for example. But I think the most likely combination is going to be these two because it just makes sense. It adds up to the figure very quickly, and it's simple. They've got 2 squads. It's going to soar a certain set of prices. Now, if you take yourself over to another section on Footbin, we can have a look at the cheapest player by rating. And for this one, we're probably going to want to look at, if we have a look, 86s, 85s, potentially 84s, 87s, and 88s. So we've got a nice selection of players there. Now, you could play it a little bit wider and go for maybe 89s, but the reality is a lot of people, if they're doing an 88 squad, are going to try to keep it as cheap as possible. There might be 189 in there, but not too many more. So you might want to focus your eyes on potentially the special cards like the Ali, Diani, Casemiro, Gert, so we want to go for them maybe, but you've got to be careful. The 89s probably won't soar as much as the 87s, the 88s, the 85s based on the SBCs we're looking at. Now what I'm going to do now is invest around 200,000 coins in these cards, so we'll go card by card and see what we can find. Now, of course, you want to use Footbin as a guidance. So right now, 89s are 36k. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop 36 in, and we're just going to find the first one that comes up for that. Now, the chances are right now, other people are probably looking at similar investments to us, so we have to be careful. You will find that actually a lot of the times in the top cards like these, you might find that the ones that are listed as cheapest on the Footbin won't be the cheapest because obviously everyone can see that and everyone can go for those cards. So Casemiro here, 36k seems about right. Can we get Hergerberger for any cheaper? She's always my favorite just because of her name. So H-E-G, Hergerberger, right, let's pop her in. Can we get her? So we can't get her. It seems like maybe Casemiro might be a good one to go for, even though he is currently the top ranked on Footbin, but I suppose right now we're at about 445, so I suppose there's not as many people on the market, so we've missed that one. Hopefully we can get ourselves another one. Is there one at 36.5? We got one there. Do we compare price our way, or do we just firm it? Well, it's always worth doing a little bit of sniping, maybe a little bit of compare price, see if you can get that extra little bit off the price. But if you can't, you can pick it up for 36,500 and you're still going to be laughing. The reality is, for me, these 200k worth of players could easily go towards doing the SBC myself, or I can go and sell them on for a profit. Now, it doesn't seem like we're going to make ourselves a Casemiro snipe, so we'll grab that one, we're going to send him up, and then we're going to go for the likes of, I'd say, Pop is probably the easy one out of the 88s there, because I think Renard, everyone knows Renard is the cheapest, so you don't even need to check FootBin for that. And of course, Bernardo Silva is kind of the next one up. So we're going to go for 22k, 23. She's on FootBin, it says 23,500, which seems pretty accurate, but we've managed to miss a 21,750. Now I know that's available. We do obviously want to try and snipe the next one, but of course, it depends how much time you have. If, you know, I'm getting this video out in the next sort of 15-20 minutes, I don't want to spend too much time actually spending the time sniping these players. If you have more time, go and spend that time and actually get yourself a snipe. Let's have a look at Renard, see if we can get a snipe on her. But you want to try and pick these players up as cheaply as possible. Obviously, an investment is only as good as the value it's picked up as. As you can see, Renard clearly isn't the cheapest, because obviously, because she's listed that, she's not going for that. Now we're going to head over to the 86s, and we're going to go, of course, Rolfo is the cheapest, which is quite funny being that she was so expensive when that whole Finesse Plus fiasco happened, and obviously everyone and their nan had to have her in their team. So we're looking at 16.5 there. No, she's not coming up for that. We're not going to pick her up. We're going to go for, let's have a look at Pajor. The Wolfsburg women seem to do quite well for investments. Pajor's not the one. Let's have a look at Donnarumma, a little bit further on the list. This is what you want to do. If you can't find the ones you're looking for at the price you're looking for, just go a little bit further down. Now, 16k for an 87 is actually quite a good value. We're going to pick up a few of these. You can see I've already picked up about 110k's worth of players, so we're going to slide them up, and then we're going to scroll over to, I think the 86s is a really safe one, because there's going to be so many cards that fall under that 86 bracket. Now for doing the 86s, I know a perfect filter. We're going to head over to La Liga Santander, or whatever it's called now, La Liga Esports. We're going to go over for German, and we're going to do midfielder. So this one, you guys should know already, is going to land us Kroos, and it's going to land us Gundogan. Now both of these should be in the lower tier. I can't see either of them on the list, which is kind of interesting. I'm scrolling down. They're not in the bottom, I don't think, either of them. No, I can't. Cruise is 12k. The cheapest is 11,750, so they're pretty much on the mark right now. Now, being that you have a filter here where you can snipe two of them, it just makes sense to go for this route. So we can do a little bit of compare price. Both of them can show up. And of course, I would say actually for this one, knock it at 11k. We've got time. 11,500s came up pretty quickly. So we've already got a 500 increase on the value that we're going to sell that on for, or the value we're going to make out of it. Let's knock this down to 11,500 and just see if we can get a couple. The reality is it's a good way of doing it, because if you can find a filter that's going to give you 2 or 3 players at the same rating, it's the best way to snipe. Now, I would say actually there's quite a few of those filters over on the female La Liga, where you can get 86s and 87s, but a lot of those cards are actually valued higher than the sort of the base, whereas these two are just the absolute cheapest they can be. Now what we do want to check as well, there's another filter which is going to do you pretty solid in a similar arena, which is the Man City English filter. So of course Kyle Walker can show up. He's not going to, because he's Kyle Walker. He's obviously a little bit higher value than the base of an 84 right now, and seemingly we're not going to get anything out of these guys. It seems like we've got our one snipe to go. Are we going to load in and get anything more? Maybe a little bit of compare price could get us something, potentially. We always want to scrimp for that last one. Doesn't look like it, so we're going to pick that one up at 12k, and we're going to move over to the Man City filter. So if we pop this down, we're going to go over to the Premier League, we're going to go over to Man City, and we're going to go for English and Gold Rare. So this one, pretty simply, is going to include Kyle Walker, but he won't actually ever be snipeable, because obviously, as I say, he's just not worth what an 84 is worth. But we've got Stones, we've got Foden, and we've got Grealish. Now, if I head over back to my FootBin page, and we have a look at 85s, we should be looking at 6.8k. Now I can have a look at Stones. I think he's probably around that value. Now if we pop this to we'll do 7 for now. We've got Stones there. Have we got any Grealishes popping up? I can't see. I'm just looking for his trim. I can't see him there. It does look like maybe he's a little bit more expensive. Let's see if we can get ourselves a snipe on this one. And the thing is with this one, it doesn't need to be miles under, because you're investing, you're not sniping. You're looking for just a bit of a better investment. That would have been lovely. It's a shame that we didn't get that one. But what would also be lovely is if you could subscribe to the channel, because I do try my best to do the good work for you. So I hope you guys appreciate it. The channel is growing ever so much, and I do appreciate that. And I'm giving you guys a chance to win some FIFA points. So make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.